What's up, guys? It's Drac, and we're reviewing a brand new Ultra Blaster. All right, so we'll glaze over the obligatory Ultra intro. At this point, it's been so long that you either know that Ultra is a scam or you just don't care at this point. So let's review this blaster on its own merits. This is a $60 flagship blaster for the Ultra line, introducing yet another new version of the Ultra Darts. Now, the Ultra Darts critical flaw is not in their tip design, it's in the inherent DRM and the polypropylene bodies. However, this is another tip design. They're calling these the Ultra Accuracy Darts. You can see that you'll get 10 of those and then 10 of the regular Ultra Darts. On the back here, they're claiming that it is the most accurate Nerf Ultra Dart, which is a lot like getting the highest marks in remedial summer classes. But, you know, I mean, take what you can get. It's a low bar, but they leapt over it, right? Accuracy was never Ultra's strong suit, after all. Now, I was hoping when this came out, given the electronic nature of the blaster, that it was going to be select fire, hence Ultra Select, and possibly have some sort of burst mode a la Modulus. That was pretty cool when they basically showed that they could make that technology and relatively inexpensively. But it appears that what they're going to be doing instead is that this is a multi-magwell system where it shifts back and forth using this foregrip. So this foregrip is specifically a selector for the two magazines. And that's the kind of wonkiness that, like, I'll give it to Hasbro. Hasbro is really good at gimmicks, which, you know, if you can't be good at performance and you can't be good at value, you might as well be good at something. So I think that that's an interesting gimmick, a fun way to switch ammo. It's incidentally something that Busby's been doing for like 2 or 3 years now to pretty terrific effect. But this is, of course, in a polished shell that'll get wider distribution than your average Busby blaster. So for $60, you're gonna get 20 Ultra Darts. The blaster itself, it is gonna require C batteries, and I feel like it's worth mentioning every time I make one of these videos. C batteries are expensive. We bought these brand new. They're Energizers, not Duracells, which is, I think, what Hasbro's partnership is. But brand new alkaline batteries are pretty pricey. I highly recommend picking up rechargeable ones instead. With that said, like, there's not too much more to talk about on the box other than they're still doing this nonsense. Everybody's number one at something if you move the metrics around enough. Let's take it out of the box and see what we're working with. So in the box, you're gonna get the blaster itself, no batteries. Batteries are gonna go in on this side. You're gonna get 2 Ultra magazines. These are, of course, 10-round Ultra magazines. They're box mags. And then you get this, this tissue paper bag, which has all of your Ultra Darts inside. Now, these are very precious in that they're quite expensive, and they've designated them by using a different color of polypropylene here. We've got metallic, accurate Ultra Darts, which use pretty much the same sort of flat cap technology that the original sort of AccuStrikes did. No fins, no nonsense, since these are a rubber cap as opposed to an injection molded rubber piece like those. Just a pretty tried and true kind of redundancy from Elite to give you first Whistlers and then AccuStrike, and so that's more or less where they're at. The bodies are otherwise completely the same, although the coloring on these is different. We'll go ahead and load up the magazines with each different kind respectively, as well as slap our, you know, $12 in C batteries into the blaster itself. You're gonna need a Phillips head screwdriver to do that. All right, so now that we've got the blaster kind of batteried up and ready to rock and roll, I just wanna mention the carry handle is not bad. The blaster does get pretty back heavy here. The stock with its open thumb port and for some reason knuckle duster finger guard is an interesting sort of combination of aesthetic choices, but that's sort of the way that Ultra's been headed. They still have, you know, paint only on one side because God help you if a premium product has an extra 5 cents in paint on it. However, if this is your jam, the grips haven't gotten that much better. It's still a little cramped, particularly since they've closed off this area. And then for such a small grip, one could only expect such a small rev trigger. If you have larger hands, this one's not gonna be the most comfortable. Blaster is relatively loud just because the flywheel cage is, of course, located right here. And with 6 batteries inside, it's revving pretty loud. There's a good rumble to it, especially being a larger style of flywheel cage for the Ultra Darts. And just this massive kind of open compartment in the center here really lets sound reverberate and echo through. So when you hear this, that's more or less what you can expect while the blaster is in battle. Now, there's 3 settings for this. All the way back is, of course, gonna put you on the right side, and then all the way forward is gonna put you on the left. To look at what that looks like in profile, it snaps side to side. The one interesting thing there is that there's kind of a sloppy middle ground where it will stick in there, and that's neither. But your trigger pull is going to be locked virtually all the time by virtue of this this dart DRM. If this nubbin here isn't pressing into the slot, I guess, on the pusher, it's not going to fire at all. And that level of dart DRM is kind of frustrating because it's going to lead to the occasional misfire and jam. We've experienced only a couple of those, but as the darts wear out and become less sturdy over time, which polypropylene is wont to do, that's going to become more and more of an issue. I would definitely make sure you store your darts in some sort of place where they're not compressing one another. So let's go ahead and load it up. There we are. Also, since the magwell isn't like attached to the shell, it's sort of floppy, can be stiff in a few places. Double mag releases back here, taking a sort of a notch out of the old Caliburn design manual, right? So to remove either one, you're going to have to kind of push in and pull. They're not gravity drop at all. They're pretty stiff in there. So we'll start, I guess, with the regular regular ultra ammo. We'll fire a couple in here. And the blaster is full auto, so you've got, you know, no physical trigger pull. It's all electronic. When you pull the first trigger, it's gonna, I think it sounds like it would be a yoke, but I'm not positive. Rate of fire is what it is, and then if we switch over, and then obviously if we get stuck in the middle there, nothing happens. So we really need to take this outside, put it over a chronograph, and get some range data for you so that you know what sort of real-world practical application such a blaster would have. There have been semi-auto ultra blasters in the past. I don't think that there's been a full-auto flywheel ultra blaster, and then the Springer ultra blasters have been pretty poor across the board. So as I think our first full-auto offering, we should go check it out. All right, guys, so we're out here with Jinx. Jinx, what do you think of the ultra line? Not a lot. Jinx says not a whole lot. But we're going to go ahead and we'll fire the regular darts first. So again, we've got our regular here, our new hotness on this side, the old silver bullets. If only the silver bullets could put down ultra, that would be great. I do want to point out, I kind of like this this triangular muzzle device that they've got going on. That's another feature that they've implemented in the ultra line. It seems like they never really get the ultra aesthetic right. They either add the knuckle duster, they cramp the grip, or you know, something funky like that. This has all of the proportions that would make for a decent rapid strike, and just none of the follow through. It is, after all, the rapid strike equivalent. Just by giving it this gimmick, it's not as efficient at one thing. So let's go ahead and see just kind of how it performs. Jinxie girl, I need you to move. Good girl. So that's 84, 69, 88, duplicate 88, 89. So it looks like, at least with standard ultra ammo, you can expect about 90 FPS out of this guy, which isn't bad. It's just not great. You could certainly get better performance out of either rival or even the new funky ammo, the hyper guys. So let's go ahead and put a couple of these funky new darts over. Only a couple though, because that's 98, 89, 91, and another 91. So similar performance, although definitely a much higher outlier with that almost 100 FPS shot. These are better. I can just tell you already, watching them fire only 15 feet there, that these are going to be significantly improved. So we'll fire a couple of ultra darts downrange. Ooh. And when it's out of ammo, it won't cycle at all. Again, that's due to the dart DRM. It's going to be hard to make a conversion kit for this guy. Ranges there were everywhere from like 45 to 55 feet, depending upon which way the ultra darts peeled. Hopefully the flat top here is going to be a little straighter, and in doing so, maybe we can arc some shots and get some actual ranged performance out of this blaster. So seems like they're kind of heavy. That was only about 45. We're actually just going to unleash a full auto volley and see if we can get anywhere close to our tree down there at 80 feet. And while those were definitely more accurate in that they stayed in a straighter line, they didn't go half as far as I was expecting from something like this. So maybe it needs a lipo overhaul. Maybe it just needs more voltage to perform in any sort of real capacity. Maybe, I don't know, we'll go ahead and accept that we definitely have what I believe to be a very justifiable bias towards the ultra line in general. But, you know, I mean, it seems like you just have to choose between ammo that's ridiculously overpriced and kind of gimmicky, or ammo that's, you know, critically underdeveloped and inaccurate as heck. So it's like, you know, the Ultra line just isn't doing anything special for something that was promised to be a gilded championship sort of a series. It's really just a huge letdown. And if this is the best full auto flinger that we have to offer, coming in at, you know, pretty medium ranges, elite blasters shoot farther than this, mega blasters shoot farther than this, with rate of fire that's significantly slower than something like the hyper fire of yore. I mean, at 60 United States dollars, you expect just a little bit more than a quick change magazine, because after all, it's pretty quick to swap one box mag into another. I like this kind of jungle technology. I wish that it was a little bit stiffer one way or to another. And what I really wish is that this had had some sort of a select fire instead. I think that burst fire out of a full auto system would have been well worth converting to real ammo. But that is a heavily biased enthusiast take on the Ultra Select. Take it as you will, grain of salt. I know that other reviewers in the space have said that this is the best Ultra Blaster so far. I would argue that while this is certainly not the best Ultra Blaster, it is the best Ultra ammo in the form of the new ammunition, and that would be my hot take. Of course, if you want to use the new Ultra ammo in any of your blasters, expect to be paying a pretty penny for the privilege. Alliteration aside, I will see you guys in my next review video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this. Would you spend $60 to perpetuate a problem? But I'll see you guys in the next video. Much love, blast on, Drac out.